Hello, and welcome to the artist's journey. Ah, gotta change that name. It's so hard to say. It's nice to when you read it, but to say artist's journey, it's like saying rural. Rural. What's another hard word to pronounce? Well, you get the gist of what I'm trying to express here. How about the journey of the artist? Doesn't quite ring like that. Oh, speaking of such, I was listening to a bunch of Stephen Pressfield today. He's the guy who wrote War of Art and also Gates of Fire, which is a book about the Battle of Thermopylae in so many years ago in Greece. And that movie 300 is basically the same story about the Spartans and so forth. Anyway, that's aside from the point. He was having a discussion with Rick Rubin. They have a discrepancy. Pressfield's big thing is resistance. And so resistance is the force of evil, which inhibits you from execution, for lack of a better term, meaning that, if you're going to sit down and do your creative work or let the muse, he talks about the muse all the time, people like these spirits of creativity whispering into your ear and sharing thoughts and ideas about creation with you. And then Rubin is more like he's talking about the source, and there are a lot of people who talk about that too. I think Jung is about that. I think who else? Just listening to someone. It's just anyway. Whatever it is, it's the erg. It's like the force. It surrounds us, penetrates us, binds the universe together. Padawan, God. Some people like to say. Anyway, the source, it's just what the universe is made of. And so I grew up Catholic, and that can be really rough. Wasn't so rough, could have been a lot worse as far as I can remember. Maybe I need some therapy for that to reveal deeper meaning of that. But I had that sort of atheistic little foray starting in my 20s. And I still have a problem with the concept of Sky Santa. I met a religious girl this summer at the Olympics, and she was handing out, it was a good marketing technique. They were like €1 million bills or something like that. And so you're like, oh, what's that? And it's all covered with Christian tract and leading you to websites and so forth. But anyway, I asked her, what is her concept of God? Wow, I'm getting off track here. Anyway, this is called the artist's journey, the journey of art, the artist's struggle, anyway. It's late, I've been working all day. I went down and bought 4 little frames for some new old artworks. I was going through some papers and I came across these drawings, multimedia, mixed media, I should say. Multimedia is like designing websites in the 90s, or CD-ROMs in the 90s. And so some oil pastel and colored pencil and ink pen. And they're pretty cool. They're drawings of these, I don't know what they're exactly called, but it's like these decorative lockers on doors, knockers on doors, down in the Marais near Rue de Rosier, which is the Jewish quarter down there. And I want to call them mascarons because it's sort of the same thing. The decorative faces on the bridge, like the Pont Neuf that crosses the Seine downtown here. So I did a few of those drawings. They're from 2013, but I'm going to frame them up. And anyone who comes by will see those for the first time. And also I'm working on a couple other ones which are, they are pieces of my workbench. So I use my workbench and I cover it with gesso, or it's sort of like a primer. And then whenever I have a thought or something, or sometimes I doodle on it, or take notes, do some addition and subtraction and calculations, geometry and so forth. And there are two sections. One is what I call Lascaux, and it's sort of a pencil outline of my hand over the modeled background, because as you can imagine, I'm painting over and I've got tape on there and pieces of paper glued down on there, so it's got this sort of this mottled texture, mottled texture, where with this hand and some spray paint on the side, it looks a little bit like something from the Les Grottes de Lascaux, you know, those old 20, 30,000 year old caves in the middle of France where the Neanderthals were doing their thing, making some paintings of Uruks and others, things, and hunts, and a lot of time putting their hand on the wall. And the other one is called the Order of Maternal Majesty, Order of Maternal Glory, because this is a dream image. It's a naked lady, you know, just sort of a plain Jane, perfectly fine, strolling down the street at a brisk pace, and I just drew that a simple line drawing from my image, but it seemed to have legs, so I decided to cut that out too, and I mounted it onto a canvas, a recycled canvas, and it's gluing right now. So, because this weekend is the Porte Verte les artistes de Ménilmontant, and I can't decide whether I'm in l'atelier ici is in Ménilmontant or in Belleville. It's sort of like right exactly in the middle. There's Rue de Ménilmontant, juste là, and then Rue de Belleville, which is right over there. It's sort of smack dab right in the middle. The Parc de Belleville is right there. And when I look on maps, they sort of consider this Belleville, but man, just the limit. And so, si vous êtes à Paris et vous voulez passer par l'atelier pour voir mes œuvres, tous les deux nouveaux et anciens, vous êtes tous les bienvenus. C'est 26 au 29 septembre. Je le fais ça le week-end, bien sûr, mais demain, c'est plus comme aujourd'hui. Je ne suis pas sûr s'il y aura beaucoup de monde qui va passer. Donc, peut-être je vais faire moi-même un petit tour de les autres ateliers des artistes de Ménilmontant, quoi. And so I spray painted another recycled frame. So I found this frame. It's a square frame. It's about 40 centimeters. And there was this photo in there, you know. It had a passe-partout, which in English is called a mat. Just like, and I thought to myself, this guy had a photo shoot and then framed a picture of himself, you know, in this like most awkward pose. And then, so when I took it apart today, I realized there was an ad for eyeglasses, and this is Bret Easton Ellis, you know, American Psycho. And I was just thinking, look at that. That is like the most unlikely way to type. That looks so uncomfortable. It looks like you could type like that for maybe 1 minute max if someone was betting you like a cookie or something like that. Anyhow, what else did I do? So as far as artistry goes, I think that's pretty much it. Repainted the top of my table because it's covered with scribbles and so forth. What else? Well, I got another email from Henry over in Nashville. So I'm going to, after this is over, after I get this all loaded up, I'm going to put 4 more tiny rooftops, which you can see if you come to the Porte Verte les Ateliers de Ménilmontant ce weekend. I'm going to put those online on his site. And also, I have a 4th wall. It's sort of like an online shop. And these little paintings, these tiny rooftops, they're about 10 by 10 centimeters. But what I'm doing is I blew them up so they're more like a foot, 30 by 30 centimeters. And they come framed. And I don't know, I think they're really cool. So what it's going to be is it's going to be a magnification of the painting itself. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I create them with this palimpsest, I call palimpsest collage approach. And you see this is layers of books and musical notation and even blueprints, diazotypes, so I like to say. And so on these reproductions, which you can get on fourth wall, instead of these, the type being, what is that, like 10, 11, maybe 12 point type, it's going to be, you know, 3 times the size of that. So you'll really be able to see the details. So have a look at that. If you want the link, ask me for it in the comments. And while you're in the comments, don't forget to subscribe and like and share. And like you can graffiti it on the bathroom wall, on the stall, you know, maybe with a pictogram or two of some sort. But otherwise, we're gonna go and we're gonna rehearse Crossroads here from Lorraine Bleu. I'm playing bass with them now, so I am rehearsing all of the songs so that I can familiarize myself with them. Juan and his little fam may be dropping by L'Atelier ce weekend during the Porte Ouverte, during the open doors. So that will be a party. We'll have a jam session and an art show simultaneously. So vous êtes tous les bienvenus, quoi. C'est Paris 21, Maître Jordan, rue des Pyrénées. Voilà. So here we go. To think of something a little bit more creative for this. Solo. Hot, huh? Can you hear that? That's Juan. 15 minutes on the